Hey guys, today is Monday, February 26th. Monday's normally a pretty busy day for us. We really start to ramp up. Like we not kind of work Saturdays and Sundays quite a bit, but Sunday's the quiet day, right? And then around here on Monday, things just start going at it. I'm standing over here in what looks like Gucci Corner. We've got Gucci. This is the Italian thing right now. Ty's, who knows what Ty's doing? Probably drawing penises on his whiteboard like it normally is. Erasing them. Okay. I think we should talk about some of our British stuff today. One of the things about Revival is that we definitely do not specialize. We don't specialize in British or German or Italian or American or any of that. We kind of like all bikes. But right now we're heavy on the Guccis, but we're always heavy on something. So let's go look at some of the British stuff. Actually, look right here. So as I talk about British stuff, I'm looking at British stuff. This is Alec Padrone's personal project. His unit Triumph chopper that he's building. This is British. This is my Jaguar E-Type. I think we talked a little bit about when it was up in the lift. It looks more apart than it really is. It's still a drivable machine. The front end just comes off with 4 bolts. And it makes it easy to service, so we leave it this way. It's just kind of in the way right now. There's a British Triumph right there. That's a pre-unit, beautiful speed twin. Anyway, and there's some more British stuff. There's Andy's broken Triumph. Everybody needs a good broken Triumph with a snap cam chain. There's some Italian and other stuff. All right, let's walk over here. Let's go look at, I think Alec is, wait, here's some more British stuff. This is Velocet Venom. This bike it's got some higher bars on it. Come around this side, Corona. This is the side you need to see. It's always the exhaust side. The exhaust side is always the pretty part. With the timing side is always the pretty part. This is a Venom that 500 single that's really fun to ride. The bars are a little high for me, but they make it a lot more comfortable. And then over here we've got a Vincent Rapide. Again, you're not showing the good side. I don't know what it is, but the camera guys want to go to it. You guys can come through, it's fine. Oops, I just ran over the pan. Come around over here.
What up, P-Funk?
That's a Vincent Rapide, a 53 Rapide. That's the Vincent I actually have put the most miles on. Ridden that all over in California and Texas, and it's a great riding bike. It's actually built to a Shadow spec, the motor, so we've gone all the way through that motor and ridden it a ton. It is a really fun bike. Starts up like first kick every single time. And then over here, oh, look, there's another British bike. There's a Triumph. There's a dirt tracker bike that someone else built that we had to fix a few things on. We had to redo the tank mounts, a few other things. And then Alec Padrone.
Hi.
Hi, Alec is working on the tank for a pre-unit Triumph that we bought at auction. What's up, man?
Hi. There's been a piece of aluminum in my thumb for a month. Finally came out.
It's gonna be a good month.
It worked its way out. Yeah. So this 59 TR6. It's actually, I love that bike so much.
It's a good pre-unit scrambler.
Yeah, so
it's red. We showed you guys before.
It's been restored in the past, but then it's sat for years, and as we all know, the worst thing for bikes and automobiles is for them to just sit. So the tank needs to be completely flushed out and harsh chemicals to get all the liner out.
Talk about what you're doing. It took a lot of years for us to figure out how to get good at gas tanks.
Yeah. So the problem with a lot of these tank liners is they're kind of soft. So it's really hard to get them to break up. And once they finally do get to break up, they form a big ball and then they stick to the walls, and it's pretty terrible. So right now I'm just getting all the loose stuff that I can out of it and rinse it out, and then
But how are you doing that?
Just with hot water and some scrapey action.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I do all that, then I'm gonna put some chemicals in it to get the rest of it out. Probably do a few rounds of that, and then once it's clean,
Hot water.
Hot
That's
water,
what this is for.
boiling
This is
hot
not
water.
for tea.
Once it's clean, then dry it to the maximum dryness, and then we'll coat it with Caswell.
That's an easier one. Sometimes it takes a whole lot more than that. We'll use electrolysis, acids to get liners out. This one's one of the better ones.
I've literally spent days and days on tanks before, so
I'm already looking.
It's kind of a bad thing. If you're looking for a bike and you do buy a bike and it's
easy to find faults. You can tell this tank's been repaired and re-welded up. There's some rust right here. Actually, that's probably varnish from fuel.
Yeah, it's just old fuel.
But this tank was one of the better ones.
Mhm.
It'll be okay when we're done.
You want to look at the bike?
Yeah, let's look at the bike. Yeah, this is
This is an important piece. And it's always the pretty part, but seeing the
Yeah.
rest of it, yeah. You've taken it apart a little bit.
This is the love of my life. 1959 Triumph TR6. Like I was saying, it'd been sitting for a really, really long time. I got it running, and it runs really well. Haven't been able to really drive it or ride it anywhere just because the tank's been so nasty, so I had it up to a fuel bottle outside. Got it running, tuned it while it was just idling, and then throttle and all that kind of stuff, and then I unhooked the fuel bottle, rode it up and down the parking lot a couple of times to make sure it shifted through all the gears. And I think it's gonna be pretty, well, it is pretty awesome. But
What are you doing up here with the bars?
Oh, I just got them out of the way.
Okay.
The steering neck bearings were loose.
Oh.
I'm basically just going through the
It
whole
was
bike.
loose.
Yeah.
This bike has no miles on it.
Yeah, it's going through the whole thing and just making sure it's safe because this guy really wants to ride it. Actually, you know, ride it and not
Properly
just let it
ride
sit
it.
again. So going through everything.
So one of the cool things is you buy a bike, it's got a competition mag on it. I just noticed.
yeah, it's
That's the same mag I have in my BSA over there.
That one I bought for like $300 at Barber. The frame and the BSA twin that's upstairs on the landing. Anyway, you buy a bike at auction and it's really easy to make it look good, but you don't really know what's underneath. You can test for compression. You can test to see if it goes through the gears, but they don't even want you doing that at the auctions.
Yeah.
I normally just break the rules and do that. You smell the gas and see what it looks like, and then you kind of you try to look at all the details to see how fasteners look, to see how loose or tight the shifter might be when you're messing with it. And this one I judged to be pretty good, and I think he only paid like $9,000. And for this bike to have been restored to the level that it was for $9,000, I
That's
think
a
it was
really
totally
good price.
I think it was a really good deal.
and after going through the bike, it was done really well. It looks really
it's
nice.
going to be super good to
Yeah,
ride.
I'm excited about riding this one.
It's funny, my memory, I had it with having high exhaust on it. I don't know why, but it totally doesn't.
We
I
have
looked at
another
too
one
many
here
bikes
that's
that
got the
weekend.
scrambler pipes, but
Yeah,
it's not. It's like a T100.
this is a really cool bike.
I love it.
We were just talking about British stuff. Anything else I should show them? Yeah, we've got some other British stuff. Dude, thanks. Good luck. I think we'll get some video. We'll try to get some video of this thing running when you're
Yeah.
done. Rough riding.
Yeah.
All
See
right.
me do a wheelie on it.
Wheelies. All right, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. What else British have we got? Oh, there's a little Triumph with high pipe, scramble pipe. This just came in for some mild repairs. We've got it going. I showed you guys the other day the SS100 Bruff. There's an SS80 over here. Another British bike. This is, let me turn the lights on here. This is an SS80 Bruff Superior that we're going to ride in the Cannonball coming up here in September. We'll ride that bike across country. There's a Black Shadow Vincent. It's kind of a Bitsa. It's a bunch of things, but it's still a Vincent twin. And then that's kind of my favorite bike. We'll do a longer segment on this Corona about the 49 Norton. There's some stuff upstairs too. Do you want to go look at that? All right. Like I was just talking about, yeah, there's a BSA in the corner. What do we got? Come on, that BSA Victor. I forgot that was even up here. Move that to get it up out of the way. And a Yamaha Ducati, another Yamaha DT dirt bike, my BMX bike, a Honda Cub, a Derby Aprilia replica bike, a Porsche air-cooled 6 motor, this really cool CZ scooter thing we've got. This is a BSA. I don't know if you can see it back here. I said BSA. It's a matchless. Why did I remember it as a BSA? Anyway, G11 matchless with a. Actually, it looks like I paid $550 for it. No, I think I paid $300 for it. But it had the competition mag on it. I bought it just for the Magneto. There's an AJS, half-on AJS motor. We can go into my office. I can show you. What have I got up here? I've got a Triumph in here. Hey. Triumph. And if anybody knows Paul Dorland's Vintagent, this is his personal bike. It's a British bike too. It's a TT Sunbeam. Really cool bike. I love this bike. It doesn't have a kicker.
It literally was just a race bike. And we've ridden this, I rode this with him in California. We brought it here because we built a new tank for it. I'm just never gonna give it back to him.
And that Triumph, which was a record-holding drag bike, campaigned locally, we picked up at auction. It's just sitting there because, again, it's made to run on alcohol. Be really difficult to just ride around the streets. This one, on the other hand, rides great. We just got to get that new tank finished. So Andy's back there working on the tank for this bike. Again, someone built this. We had to redo the exhaust and the tank and a few other things and put electronics on it and make it run correctly. And the guy is really, really happy. We really like this guy. The client is a really good friend of the shop. But the bad news was it had really pretty paint on it that you'll see in a second. Let's go find Andy and talk about it. Andy, prepare. It's time for bear hugs.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, come on.
No.
I'm coming.
It doesn't want one.
It wants a hug.
No.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Dude, you're doing the bad stuff. Oh, God.
Yeah, the not fun stuff?
So this is a custom aluminum tank that someone built.
Yes.
For that bike. Talk about it.
Triumph tracker. So, yes,
Jesus.
so there's some issues with it. Primarily being the mounting was not holding up to the immense vibration of that motor.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of heard some of the story, but where was it mounted?
This hole just had a single 8mm bolt.
For the whole tank?
in the frame.
Just mounted on some rubber pads.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was supposed to keep all that weight of the fuel.
Yeah.
And of course, lightweight aluminum, so it's not really, really strong. You can't tighten it down too much. That's the reason so what was happening? This was cracking?
That's the reason that we fixed it initially, and then
How do we fix it initially?
basically just re-welded, beefed the weld up.
Okay.
So that we could try it and see if that actually fixed the problem. But there were other issues with the tank. There was a clearance issue here. You can see I've cut this and
Pulled it back.
to give it more clearance around the oil fill.
So you're gonna re-weld this.
Yeah, so that'll get welded back out. I'm making
You machined this.
a new mount. So this will go.
So he's machined this from solid.
Yeah, so this will go in place of the original mount.
All right.
And what we're doing is because we're kind of tied to some of the mounting with the frame because the frame's plated, and the client obviously doesn't want to replate the frame.
It's nickel. Yeah. Okay.
So what I've done is I've set this up for a 10mm shoulder bolt,
Right.
which should be more surface area equals less stress, stronger piece.
And then we'll put more rubber bracing.
Yeah.
Front
So
and
the bottom actually has a recess you can see there, so it'll get
Right,
a
but what
rubber-
about the ends?
So we're actually going to add some tabs to the front to tie it into the gussets
Oh,
for
here.
the down tube of the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll just stick off here.
Okay.
That's why this area has been blasted.
All right, so you can.
So
bolt it.
it'll help control the.
Well, right. And if you triangulate any load, right? If you triangulate even between here and these 2 points, it's like 30 times stronger minimum.
Yeah.
Stefan could give us numbers and math on that, but it's a lot stronger. I mean, this thing doesn't weigh shit.
That's also hopefully going to, because one of the issues is that you think you're accelerating, decelerating, all that force is going into this one tiny little bolt into a piece of soft aluminum. So was wallering the hole out every time it would vibrate back and forth.
I like
you
wallering.
Like that? You like that
wallering.
term?
I love it when you pull words.
It's like cattywampus.
It was wallering that hole right there. Andy's
Dang,
actually
oh.
from Michigan, but for some reason he's way more Texan than I am, the guy who's from Texas.
Because I've lived here long enough.
You pull
I
up them
guess.
dang old field terms and talking like that. Wallered that hole out right there. And then, because that crack, he had to re-weld it right there, right?
Dang.
Dang,
oh.
did you understand what I was saying?
I
This is
did.
the king of the hill shit. All right, well, so paint was wasted. We'll have to repaint everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Why did you guys even bother to cover? Just so we could look
'cause
at it later?
Well, he wanted to try and save there's a Triumph logo that's painted under clear coat, and trying to save as much of the original paint as
I'm
possible.
going to go ahead and make a proclamation. And
Oh,
this-
I think it's an exercise in futility,
yeah,
but
totally. I think it's gone.
you
It'll be cool when it's done. All right, so you're back here doing the bad stuff. Well, all right, we were talking about British bikes today.
yeah.
Your British bike has a busted cam chain, your
Mine-
daily rider.
Yes.
So it was making a little bit of noise. I heard the cam chain was making noise, and Stefan said something like,
Okay, Stefan says it was noisy, but Stefan is so, I don't know. He can be so like,
"So you don't think it was noisy?"
I'd never noticed a change. So I actually have a theory about that.
Okay.
The starter gear, the starter assembly rides in basically the same space
As the cam chain?
as the cam
Tensioner?
chain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as the lower cam sprocket on the crankshaft. And the starter gear was stripped out, and so I think one of those chunks of starter gear actually caused the failure.
So you need a new starter and a cam chain too. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not really relevant. At least you didn't blow the motor up.
I don't understand how that didn't happen because it's definitely an interference motor.
Who knows? Maybe it busted when you were trying to start it, when the motor wasn't actually spinning over at any pace. Doesn't make any sense.
I think it happened when I was riding it, but
Well, I guess we'll see. Anyway, good luck with your trying.
you want to explain what an interference motor is?
An interference motor is you've got valves. Everybody knows you've got valves, and you've got a piston that's going up and down. And a lot of motors, and kind of the lower tech motors, the valves and the pistons do not have any chance where the space they take up would overlap. And what I mean by that is if these two get out of time, they would bang into each other. But a lot of motors leave enough space so that it wouldn't really matter if this got out of time, the piston would not hit it. So therefore you don't get bent valves or crushed in the top of a piston. And his theory is, because it's a modern motor, and I would think it's the same, is that that's an interference motor where the timing chain breaks and the valves stop moving at the same pace the piston starts to move. It just crams the piston up into the valves and bends valves, which would be bad. That means the whole top end has to be redone. But somehow we've got a cam chain that keeps these two together that broke, and we still have compression in a proper leak down test, which would imply that the valves never made contact with the pistons.
And I'm a really lucky SOB.
If so, it's
If
to be
so.
tested. We ordered a cam chain and a new starter, and we're gonna try to fix it. Either way. I've been told by someone on the internet that I'm not supposed to talk because you're a doer and I'm just a talker. I really don't know what I'm talking about. Someone said this. Because I don't know how to work on bikes.
I think you're totally as qualified as me to describe what an interference motor is.
I could have let you talk about it. It would have been good.
It's fine.
Upper management.
I didn't realize that you had talked about that so far.
Anyway, it's fine. It's all good. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell us to fuck off. Share it with your friends. Whatever you got to do.
Hey, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. We'll see you guys next time we find time for this. Thanks.
Go away.